Welcome to another edition of 10 Minutes With. This is actually the second take at it. I screwed it up the first time because I forgot what I was doing in my old age. Beat you to a cake. So we're here with the guys from Sports Headlines. We're here with Warner and Sean. Welcome, guys.
Nice to be here.
Thank you for having us.
So let's just go right into it. Why'd you guys start a podcast? Why'd you start videos? And how'd you guys meet, actually?
We met about 10 years ago back in school, and we were always really into sports, as younger children. And we noticed, ESPN and Fox Sports, CBS Sports, they were all real big outlets. And, we kind of we wanted to imitate it at the beginning, but I think we've grown into a more a local, bringing you the sports news, bringing our takes on it, and really trying to make the sports world more relatable to the everyday person.
Yeah, to piggyback off what Warner said, I think it's important for everybody, at the start, to almost imitate a little bit what you see the bigger names do. Like, if you watch our show, the number one thing you say is, they sound like First Take. Well, because that's how it started. It was a little bit like that, or we tried to model that. But like Warner said, as time grew on, we tried to turn into a better spinoff, but our version of it.
I believe our first name was something like, Sports Talk
Sports
or
Talk
Talking Sports or something. And suffice it to say, we've evolved over the years, and I like where we're at, but we're going to keep growing into ourselves.
So how many years have you been doing this?
Recording probably on and off for 2 or 3 years.
3 years.
Just, talking and paying attention to the news and just doing debates amongst ourselves. Probably since we met, for real.
That's actually how I got one of our other guys who couldn't make this interview. That's how I started to get him on with us. I remember we were in history class, and I was like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And we just started talking about it. I was like, "Hey, you should join us." And he was very reluctant at first, and Warner will tell you, because he knows what I'm talking about. We're glad that we got him.
Yeah, he is a personality, to say the least. He's got some strong opinions.
So what should someone expect listening to your show?
If you want to take this one, Sean.
What you should expect listening to us or watching us. You're gonna see your almost ESPN-y type stuff, where we'll talk about do debates and stuff, do power rankings and stuff like that. But one of the biggest way we diversify ourselves is we'll do gaming rebar, the sports game rebuilds, Madden, NBA 2K rebuilds. Actually was recording earlier for it. And then if we got some new stuff coming, might as well be running now, July 10th, for anybody who's watching, got some new stuff to diversify ourselves with again. So if you like your ESPN-y stuff, you want to hear from a different point of view, because I think a lot of people will agree with this, and I'm saying it because my job is to be bold. ESPN and Fox and stuff, they're kind of, I feel spoon-fed what they're supposed to say. And then sometimes it doesn't feel authentic, and that's what we try to do, be authentic.
It feels like some of the major sports organizations are kind of handcuffed in what they can say and what they can't say. How opinionated they can get. But we're just trying to free up the sportscasting field, and really just tell our honest truth, whether it's popular or not. We just try to be ourselves.
You have a lot of not popular opinions.
Now we love what we do, though, and we hope you all will too.
I'm glad you said on the authentic and the first take. One of the things that drove me away and driving me nuts about the first take type shows is you can see the person arguing the opinion very often will you can tell that's not really their opinion. They're
That's
just
not,
taking,
yeah.
they're taking the opposite stance because they need it for television, for the
Yeah.
ratings. And I think the time I actually gave up on First Take was actually with Skip Bayless back in the day when he was still there. Yeah, I'm showing my age now. Skip Bayless, I forget who he was arguing with, and they brought up the topic, whoever made their point, and he goes, "Okay, I'll make the counterpoint on this." It's like,
Yeah.
not your opinion. You just want to argue for the sake of arguing. It just drives me nuts.
We found that we've agreed on a lot of these topics, and it's kind of hard.
Especially us two.
Yeah,
Warren.
it's kind of hard to find a topic that we like passionately disagree on and take the opposite side, and that's really where our counterparts come in, especially Warren. You'll find that we disagree a lot on these things, and we're both passionate about it. And then when me and Sean disagree, it's always a classic. We go back and forth, throw the time limit out the window. We just prove each other right or the other one wrong. So.
Do you remember how long our Clemson-Alabama debate was?
Man, that was like we had to cut it off right there. That was
it was like 45 minutes. I don't even remember how long that was.
So when you say you've had a heated debate, is it like somebody storms out heated or something gets thrown? Has it ever gotten that bad yet?
No, it's never gotten that bad. But like for us is like first off, it was 25 minutes, so that should tell you how heated it was. But I think he started out like he said something ridiculous, and then I came back at him very harshly. Not harshly, but I came back at him, and then he was passionate about his point. He was wrong, and then
but the end all be all is I won the debate, and that's that. So
it's the classic. You may have your opinion, but your opinion is wrong.
Your opinion is wrong.
Your opinion is wrong.
See that he gets the corner.
So, Kate?
Sorry, there's a giant bug on my wall, and so I'm watching to see where it's going.
The white walls, too, I'm sure it's noticeable.
Yeah. Side note, I had a scorpion on the bottom of my sandal the other day. That was fun.
So what's a piece of advice that you would give to a new person getting into broadcasting their sports opinions to others?
I'd say be yourself. Know what you stand for, and the topics will come. The sports world, I think, is a very diverse world. It's a very popular world, and it has a lot of controversy and storylines. So, as long as you know yourself and know what you believe in your heart, the news will come.
Yeah, and I think you got to be relevant. So I'll give you guys a little short story. So back when the whole Astros scandal was going on, I was begging Warner to have a topic about it, but we can never have a time to record. And we finally got a time to record 2-3 months later, and it wasn't relevant.
It was just too late.
So
that's another thing. It takes time. You got to record. You got to find a time when everybody can record. You got to find time to edit, and then you got to post it. And it's really a nonstop job, and you're just trying to constantly find dates, and it's not always the easiest to do, especially when you have other things in your daily schedule.
I hear that.
Just an update: the bug fell off the wall, and I have no clue where it went. Just in case anyone was curious.
Good to know. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, and the you mentioned the consistency, until the pandemic hit, and we, normally I'm driving 45 minutes each way, but since I've been home, we've all of a sudden been able to get in and do this, and these quick shows are much easier to do. But it's it's getting consistent is really hard. It's you get a couple episodes, you start to build that listener base, then you take a couple months off, and now you're essentially starting over from scratch, making
especially when we first started. We would have to get all the guys together, and it really just the time we could do that was not very often, and it would be months before we posted again. We'd post we record for an hour or 2 hours a day, then we'd cut it all up, and then it would be a while before we recorded again. So I definitely feel that.
And really quickly, this might sound weird, but the pandemic has kind of benefited us in some weird, like, I don't know if sadistic is the right word, but in some weird way, the pandemic is almost like a benefited us because we've had more time to record because we're less busy.
Yep. Well, we've noticed too, like there's been a surge in interest in podcasts and videos and TikTok. And it's like once we do get back to a normal routine again, whenever that may be, they're going to tail off. People lose interest, but it's the ones that stay focused, they stay consistent. They're the ones who are going to last. And I mean, you guys clearly you've been doing this for a few years already. I mean, I think I've seen that the average podcast lasts like 4 episodes or something like that before they come out. Yeah, it's something like that. So you've blown the average away.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I think we're how's the time look, Kate?
Well, when you messed up, I didn't exactly restart the timer. 10
minutes and 5 seconds.
12 minutes.
So
let's mess up with 2 minutes. We're about there.
All right, we're almost there. So let's go ahead. Where can we find your show, and where can we find you on social media?
You can see us on YouTube at Sports Headlines. Our Twitter handle is Sports Headline, not the S at the end. H for Kobe, and then on Instagram at sports_headlines4.
Awesome. Be sure to check that out. I'd love to see the good fire debate back and forth.
Maybe we'll repost the Clemson debate.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do it again.
At least that as a standalone video and share that. I think people would love that. It's just the back and forth for almost half an hour.
Yeah.
If you
want to waste a half an hour of your time, go watch him lose the debate. That's all.
So Warner, Sean, thanks again for being on the show. Again, be sure to check out Sports Headlines, and we will actually check us out at stadiumscene.tv, at Stadium Scene on Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter, at Stadium_Scene on Instagram. And I am having a really bad day, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up.
You really need that bloopers edition.
I need a beer. It's time for a beer. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
All right, welcome to our latest edition of 10 Minutes With. I'm here with, sorry.
Wow, this early?
Wow, you know what? This is the first time I've screwed up an intro. I've done 13 or 14?
Warner should be used to that.
I do that all the time.
I just had a total brain cramp on who I was talking to. We usually do 2 or 3 of these a week, so okay. I'm all screwed up today. So, all right, let's try this again. At least it'll be easy to crop this off the beginning. So.
Oh, you're not going to leave it?
No, I'm not going to leave it.
Have a bloopers edition if it's more than one.
The only blooper